Hello and welcome back to Stopping Go F1 for this, our preview video for the Miami Grand Prix. My goodness, I am ready. I am in my Miami fit. This is what this is, everyone. This is what the people of Miami wear. I might as well be in Miami today because not only am I dressed accordingly, but it is a lovely 23 degrees in Wrexham Town, which means it's basically a heat wave. Enough heat for a fat man to take off his shirt and walk down the street in public, and everyone goes, yeah, that's fine, I guess. What a lovely day it is. But, what have we got to get into today? So, we haven't got a good corner, because that details have not been released as of yet. But we have got a few news stories to go through. We've got a lot of special helmet streets, some really good ones as well this week. We've got special livery cul-de-sac, a lovely little trip there as well. We've got our two predictions which we never, ever, ever get wrong. And we've got a brand new segment. I thought we need something new for the preview videos, so we have a new segment that I'm calling the Statistical Slip Road, which is a fun little thing to say. And I'm just going to go through some stats that are either relevant to this race or the race weekend as a whole, or the drivers. Some interesting stuff to throw at you before the start of the race weekend. But before all that, remember to like and subscribe. And a huge shout out to our members: Dakota, The Joyous James, Robin Myers, Cinnamon Strudel, Michael Johnson, Mr. Eurovision 1986, Philip. Right, I said Philip is our newest member. He also edits the shorts for me. He does the shorts on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram. He's fantastic. I've never ever said his surname out loud before. So here it is. Philip, if I say it wrong, I'm sure you will correct me. Philip Doganzik. Philip Doganzik. We also have Flandy Skick and No Edam on Sandwiches. They are the members on the YouTube and on the Patreon. If you want to become a member, click the link in the description down below on either. You'll get, if you become a Mansell Mustache member, you'll get access to videos early. If you want to become a AI World Champion, you'll get your shout-outs. If you just want to support the channel, you can become the You're a Marshal membership level. If you just want to help us out a little bit there. But if you don't want to become a member, that's fine too. As I said, bit warm today. If you can hear a fan, it's because there's a fan on over there. Hopefully it's not too annoying for you, but if I don't turn that on, I'll melt. And this video will just be a time lapse of me melting, which is less fun. But let's get into this with some news stories from this week, some interesting things to look at. The biggest and most interesting thing for me this weekend revolves around Cadillac, who are teasing an announcement this weekend. They've teased it on their social media profiles that on Saturday the 3rd of May they will announce something. We have no idea what it is, but something will be announced on Saturday the 3rd of May. A lot of people seem to think it is connected to one Sergio Perez. Now, Sergio Perez will also be at the Miami Grand Prix this weekend. I believe it is the first race he has been at since Abu Dhabi last year, which was his last official race as an F1 driver. A lot of people have put Sergio and Cadillac together as a pairing. I think a good pairing, because you have someone like Sergio Perez, who is an incredibly experienced Formula 1 driver who could help Cadillac out quite a bit, and also a man who is in desperate need of a redemption story after how his career ended at Red Bull at the end of last year. So could they be connected? Personally, I hope so. We shall wait and see. That'll be announced on Saturday. Something I should have said as well before at the start is a little admin thing for you for this weekend, because Saturday, the 3rd of May, is my birthday. So what that generally means is hopefully everything should run smoothly and you'll have the same coverage as you always have. It might not, though, because on Saturday I am going out. I'm just checking what time am I out and about, because it might have a direct crossover. It probably will. Yes, it will. Okay, so I am not here for the qualifying session. So qualifying will either be late on Saturday night, early on Sunday morning, or not at all. So if any of those could happen on Saturday. Apart from that, I think I am here as normal all the way through the weekend. So yes, there's a little admin thing for the weekend going forward. But there you go. Back to the news, and more good news for Sergio Perez fans, because the Mexican Grand Prix has been extended to 2028. And who knows, we could see him back on the grid next year at the Mexican Grand Prix. Good news overall. They have the best podium in all of Formula 1. I'll give them that, with the car lift on it. Apart from that, it's not one of my favourite tracks. I think it's an interesting track. It's a track where overtaking is possible, which you can't say about every track. But, you know, it's an interesting one. What we found recently with Mexico is because the championship has been kind of so one-sided in the last few years, by the time we get to Mexico, things are kind of already sewn up. So it's less excitement, but there you go. Whatever. Speaking of the championship, let's talk about the champion, Max Verstappen, who is missing the media day today because his child might be born. That is the rumour. Apparently he has now flown out to Miami, but he was given permission not to do media today because he might become a father, which, you know, is the most Max Verstappen thing in the world. I reckon he had the kid just to miss the media day, but there we go. But as we know, Max Verstappen, a huge fan of Stop and Go F1, might just try and get the baby to hold on until Saturday, so myself and his child share the same birthday. We'll have to wait and see. On that, though, because it looks like it's going to happen at some point this weekend, I've had to change what video comes out on Friday. So, next Friday, there's no F1 races, which means we have a fully edited video here on the channel. So initially, we were going to have a video discussing who is the greatest F1 street racer of all time. That video will still come out at a later date, because I've had to move another video earlier, because it's a bit more relevant now. But I've made a video dissecting the theory that having children makes you a slower Formula 1 driver, and seeing if that is true. The infamous quote of Fernando Alonso was, he knew he could outbrake Michael Schumacher because he knew he had a wife and kids at home. As we may find out in that video, is that quote entirely true? That's all to come. On next Friday's video, we'll see that there. Right, moving on from the news though, because that's all the news we have. Been a quiet week, and because it's in America, the media day hasn't actually happened as we sit here right now. So there may be some big headlines that come out, so we can talk about those at a later date. It's time, everybody, for the Statistics Slip Road. I'm going to regret that title for sure. But here are some statistics revolving around this weekend. So firstly, the race will take place on the 4th of May, which is John Watson's 79th birthday. John Watson, a former McLaren driver who had 5 race wins. Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri both currently have 5 race wins. But speaking more about the track in general, Miami is the only track on the calendar that has never had a feature race won from pole position. Max Verstappen did win from pole in the sprint last year, but we have never had a main race won from pole. And I do think as well, I'm going to have to double check this because I didn't write it down, but I'm pretty sure every race has been won from a different position. So we have had a win from 3rd, a win from 5th, and a win from 9th on this track. So the front row has never actually won a race in Miami, but that could change this weekend. As we head into the race, so far this season we've only had one race not won from pole. That was last time out in Saudi Arabia, Max Verstappen on pole, Oscar Piastri winning the race. So we'll see what happens there. We have also never had a repeat pole sitter. Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez have all had pole positions here. Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc could become the first repeat pole sitter this weekend. Sticking with Max Verstappen, he has been on the podium of every single Miami Grand Prix so far, and leads the way with the most amount of points scored at this track with 78. Sergio Perez has the second highest amount with 48 points. There are 12 drivers who have driven every lap ever race on this track, not including sprint races. Out of the 12, Perez and Bottas will lose that distinction this weekend, as they are no longer F1 drivers. The others are Russell, Hamilton, Albon, Stroll, Verstappen, Sainz, Ocon, Tsunoda, Leclerc and Alonso. Moving on now, if Oscar Piastri wins this weekend, he would have more race wins in Formula 1 than Lando Norris for the first time in his career, and would take his third race win in a row. On the current grid, the only drivers to have 3 or more race wins in a row are Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, and Fernando Alonso, so he would join the world champions. Meanwhile, a podium this weekend would see Lando Norris earn his 31st podium, which would move him equal 36th of all time with Jack Brabham. A podium this weekend for Max Verstappen would be his 116th podium with the Red Bull team, which would put him joint second all-time with Michael Schumacher for podiums with the same constructor, but he would still be 37 behind Lewis Hamilton, who is in the lead with Mercedes. This is also a huge weekend if you're a fan of current racing drivers now having more races than world champions, because this is Lance Stroll's 172nd F1 race weekend, which puts him ahead of Niki Lauda. Esteban Ocon is on his 162nd F1 race weekend, which puts him ahead of Mika Hakkinen. Yuki Tsunoda is now on his 93rd F1 race weekend, which puts him one ahead of James Hunt. And Oscar Piastri is on his 52nd F1 race weekend, which puts him ahead of Juan Manuel Fangio. Alex Albon could move 4th all-time this weekend in a stat which nobody wants. It is the most amount of races without a win, pole or fastest lap. He currently is on 109, Mika Salo is on 110, Martin Brundle owns that record with 158. And our final stat of the weekend is that Stake F1 Team Kick Sauber now have more F1 races than the first ever F1 Constructors Champions Van Wall, as Stake F1 Team Kick Sauber now have 29 races. There's the stats, everyone. I hope you enjoyed them. Some of them were quite depressing. To cheer you up, it's time to go to Special Livery Cul-de-sac. Boom! Look at this. This is an absolute beauty. We have a few special liveries this weekend. Actually, we have 3, to be precise. Out of the 3, this one is exceptional. The other 2 are meh. We'll get on to it, but here we go. This is the Racing Bulls. We had the white Red Bull in Japan. We had the pink Racing Bull here in Miami. The standout of all of this, the wheels are can lids. Genius. I can't wait to see what this looks like in real life. In the image itself, it looks fantastic. I'm hoping it looks even better on the track. Have we got any more photos? Yes, we have. There's a can on the nose we can see here. This looks absolutely fantastic. This is how you do a special livery. This is how it's done. Red Bull have shown us this year. There's also a can on there. Very reminiscent of the 2010 Red Bull that had the Red Bull on the rear wing. So it's like a kind of even a throwback in a way. It's beautiful. Right, Red Bull this year have shown us how you properly do a livery, a special livery. I'm going to have a quick sip because my throat's very dry. They've shown us how to do a special livery. With this and with the Japan one, there's hints of the original livery there, of course. All your sponsor logos are still there, but it is distinctly different and looks great. Overall, I have not seen one person complain about this or the white Red Bull because they feel special, they look good, they are different. Let's talk about Ferrari. This is awful, right? I was vocal to begin with about the Ferrari livery when it first came out, that I didn't like it and I thought it looked crap. But I thought, well, at least it can't get worse. Oh my god, it can! And the thing is, they haven't learnt anything. Because last year they promised us a blue livery. Let me see if I can quickly find a picture of it. They were like, oh yeah, we're going blue. We're going to have a blue livery. My goodness. And then, here it is. I found it. This is what they gave us last year. And everyone went, that's not a blue livery. That's a normal livery with little bits of blue that don't look very good. And this is when HP were introduced, and they are just generally not very good. And then they've gone, right, okay, we'll do it again. It's worse! You've done it worse! It's just, oh, it's so bad. It looks awful. This white stripe has always been bad, and now it's just grown. It's like a strange growth. It's like in a film when someone gets bitten by a zombie, and an hour later their arm's all disgusting because the infection has spread. The infection of the HP has just spread across the car to look disgusting. And the thing is, the thing that annoys me the most about this is like they pretend that the white and the blue Ferrari stuff is like a bit of a throwback. It's a throwback to this. This is the car that John Surtees used to win the World Championship for Ferrari, and it was a blue Ferrari. It was 1960 something. Well, I'll find out the correct date, because otherwise the comments will go mad. 1 second. When was John Surtees the bloody world champion? It was a great time. We all remember it very, very well. John Surtees won the world championship in 1964. So there you go. 1964. In 1964, they knew how to make a blue Ferrari. Enzo Ferrari himself must have approved this car and went, a blue Ferrari? Yes, we'll make it blue and white. And then here we are in the year of our Lord 2025. And this is the best we can do. The thing is, they got it right with the race suits. Look at this. It's blue and white. Then they go to the car. Wow. You've really messed it up again. You silly Italians. This isn't right. You've done it all wrong. That's how you do it. That's a special livery. This is crap. My goodness. I don't believe it. Unbelievable. Moving on, though, because it's not the only one. There's another livery which I'm not too happy with either. And it's this one. This is the Stake F1 Team Kick Sauber car, which, it's a black car covered in slime. I don't really get it, if I'm perfectly honest with you. It's not too different from their normal one. It's just it's slime now instead of whatever it normally is. They said, right, the inspiration for this car, which there it is there, was the Miami street art scene. I know nothing of the Miami street art scene, so I gave it a Google. And here is what Google gave me back. I'll scroll for a little bit. Let me know when you see some slime. There's a shark there. There's tennis players, a creepy face. No, some more faces. A child there. There's Tupac. There we go. Keep on going. No slime as of yet. Oh, that says love. That says Miami there. Oh, what's that? It's like some kind of turtle or something. That's pretty cool. Some more faces. That's an eyeball. That's cool. That's SpongeBob. There's the Hulk. Well, you know, that'd be cool because like Hulkenberg drives for Sauber. Can't see any slime. There's a cartoon. I thought that was Hulk Hogan for a second. It's not. There's more faces. That's me. You know, it's all pretty good stuff. There's a rhino here. Look at this rhino. That's pretty cool. I don't see any slime. That's weird. It's just very, very strange that they were inspired by the Miami street art scene, yet the car looks nothing like the Miami street art. It looks like it's just come back from the Kids' Choice Awards, is what's actually happened here. And, overall, again, from a distance, it's exactly the same as it normally is. It's madness. We'll look in special helmetry later on, because there is a helmet there which is clearly inspired by the Miami street art scene, and I'm no expert on the Miami street art scene. I've just admitted I had to Google it, but there's one there I go, oh yeah, that's inspired by the Miami street art scene. This car isn't. This is rubbish. What a load of crap. Anyway, one last thing. Mercedes, I don't think they have special livery, or at least they haven't shown it as I'm recording this, but they've got these suits. They look like a football pattern, and then they have a different... maybe this is the Miami street art scene as well. I don't know. But there it is. Let's go to Special Helmet Street, everyone, because it's much better. The issue is I've got to remember who all these are. This is Kimi Antonelli. It goes with the thing that they're doing this week. I don't fully understand what the thing they're doing is this week, but it goes with that. This is George Russell's one. Also goes with... I mean, like, there's the flowers and the pink. I mean, that's kind of... I get that, I guess. Very good. Now, this is how you do it. This is how you win. I've dropped my pen. I'm so excited. I've dropped the pen. This is how you win Special Helmet Street. This is Alex Albon's helmet, everyone. It's an orange. His head's an orange. It's genius. It's genius. Simple but effective. Only 23 cents. It's on offer. That's how it's done. That is how it's done. Take a bow, Alexander Albon. Doesn't matter where you finish this weekend. You've already won in my heart. Now this is a helmet inspired by the Miami street art scene. It's Esteban Ocon's helmet, and I think he's actually got a local Miami artist to design it as well. There was a photo of him drawing it on his Instagram before I saw. And, you know, it's got little different sections inspired by all different kinds of arts and colours that you'll see on the Miami street art scene. This is how it's done. None of that slime. Not one bit of slime on this. Fantastic stuff. But very good from Esteban Ocon. This is Liam Lawson's helmet. Quite subtle, really, but I think will look quite nice with the pink car. Not sure why all the roses are in the visor, but either way, you know, it has the little palm trees there. A little colour palette change to a purple and a blue. Overall, very, very nice from Liam Lawson. Now, I said before that Alex Albon has won this weekend, but he may have some competition because Lando Norris has brought out... Now, I've only just seen this about 15-20 minutes ago, so maybe this is a bit of, like, recency bias, but I think this might be the greatest helmet of all time. It's a disco ball. Oh my god. I love it. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It is perfect in every single way. It's given me Sebastian Vettel vibes. Back in the day when no one really did special helmets, and Vettel was like, I'm going to do this more often. And, you know, he just pushed the boundaries of it, and then he, like, brought one out with LEDs, and it got banned. This is how it felt back in the day. When Vettel would release a photo of his helmet, this is how it felt. The feeling of joy I had when I saw this. It's beautiful. It's going to look so good. And, you know, if, like, in a free practice session, when the sun hits the car just right, and we get a slow-mo shot of him going through a corner, with the sun being reflected off every single little mirror there, it will be cinema. In helmet form. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic. What a Special Helmet Street that was. What a time to be alive. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Right, obviously no free practice roundup because there hasn't been any free practice. No upgrade corner because we haven't had the forms yet. So we're bringing the video to an end here with our predictions. And I have the predictions right in front of us now. And the first one's my cop-out one. Because it's hard to predict when we've seen absolutely nothing. So I have a cop-out sprint race prediction that I pull out my backside when I don't really know what to pick. And I'm going to pick it again today. I'm going to say we're going to have a different sprint and feature race winner. That's prediction number one. Prediction number two is I think Piastri's going to do it. I think Piastri will be the only non-world champion on the grid who has had 3 race wins back to back to back. To do anything back to back to back is incredibly impressive. 3 race wins, Football League promotions, that's just off the top of my head. But yeah, back to back to back is what Piastri's going to do. We'll be here to cover all of it, all the way through the weekend. As I said, Saturday evening might be a bit late or not at all, but we will see. We'll be here definitely for the race on Sunday, and anything interesting that does happen, we'll have coverage of it, including the Cadillac announcement, whatever that might be. I have seen someone on Twitter be like, well, it could just be them releasing their logo. And if it's them releasing their logo, I won't be talking about it. But if it is interesting, I'll be here to talk about it. So I will see you then. Until then, though, have a beautiful weekend. Hopefully the weather is wonderful where you are too, and you are soaking it all up. We'll be here for a beautiful weekend, no matter what the weather, because when the F1's on, it's always beautiful. I'm rambling now. It's time to end the video. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then. Oh my god. Until then. Have a good one. I'll see you later. Goodbye.